Oh, we forgot about that.
It's okay. It's only the first one. We'll remind everyone else. I'll do a group chat right now.
Yeah, please do. Does it save it to our computer or?
I have no idea. I've never done this before. Oh wait, I'm going to Pronto.
Oh, hopefully. Thank you.
I think it went pretty smoothly. He finished his lecture pretty much on time. Well, like a minute over, but we started 10 minutes late.
Christian,
Yo,
what group are you in?
He might be here for tutoring.
I'm in the Brown Falcons, but I know I just looked on the thing. It said on 9:15, it said mandatory that we got to be in.
I think you're in the wrong. You clicked the wrong
Yo,
link.
yo, Chris, yo, what's good?
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Um,
All right.
I think you're in the wrong link because this is only for the red Peregrines.
Oh, it's only
So
for.
yeah, so you may want to just
Hang on,
double.
Christian. Let me look it up with you.
Because I know I had clicked the modules and I just clicked the sim because I didn't want to be late to class.
All right.
And then,
So here's
oh, okay.
what.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel
All
you.
right.
You see it now?
Before you leave, we'll guide you which one to find.
Oh,
Are you
that's a
able-
red pick. Oh, okay. All right. I see. I see.
You see it?
So I gotta click mine, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so up at the top, you should be able to click yours. You said it was brown?
There should be a whole group of subsets where it says a lot of names. Click on
Yeah.
yours.
You know, I see it, but here's the problem, right? It say my class is from 10, right, to
Yeah.
12:50. And on Monday, June 15th, it don't say nothing mandatory until from 11. Like it say recommended. Oh, so I should be in there right now? Or
Yeah,
will
you
it
should
just,
be in the recommended open
oh, no,
tutoring.
they didn't tell me I had to be on there at 9. I be working out. I can't do that.
Yeah. So you have to be
I can't be in I can't be in this one.
No, I'm
no.
sorry.
That's
So
weird.
you should be in at 11 for sure. You cannot miss the 11 one. If you want to be in there
Yeah,
early, you can go to the open tutoring.
but how come
You
it
said
says that
you're
my class is from 10 to 12:50? That's what I'm saying. It say recommended time is at 9, but I can't I got in the class from 10. From 10
okay.
to
So
12:50.
then let's
You get what
see.
I'm saying?
All right, give me a
Yeah. So
second.
you don't have to show up till 11.
But that's hey, all right. But hey, all right.
They
So
might
what?
have once they put the schedule in with the actual college, they may have just said 10 to 12:50. But when we started making all the Zoom recordings, you're only in there for an hour with your instructor, then you're in there an hour with the the trainer, like Luis is right now is our trainer and I'm the mentor.
Right.
So-
But I'm looking at the okay.
So you follow the schedule here on the itineraries and you do everything that's mandatory. You cannot miss those. And then
Okay.
if you can, go to the recommended if you're free. I know there's a lot of conflict and you really have a tight schedule for training and stuff, but you have to be there at the red. And if you can be there, we want you as much as possible to have FaceTime with us. So try and come to the recommended.
And then on Tuesday we got that little thing for an hour, right, Louis?
Yeah.
I bet. All right.
All
So
right.
Sean, I love you, boy. All right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good morning.
All right. Bye, Christian.
Yo, he left. All right.
All right, guys. It's about time you start coming back. Just make sure you turn on your screens again. And all right. So what we're going to be working on is we're just going to be working on a few things that that will probably help you out with the course. Well, with this section. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. What we're going to be doing is we're just going to be doing these questions. Does everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be answering these questions as a group. So whoever wants to answer them could answer them freely. If you don't know what it is, just take a guess. It's better to say something than stay quiet. It's how you learn. All right. So this is going to be some with observational units and variables, categorical and numerical. So this is from module 1. So for the first questions, it says the company table gives the population of 6 U.S. states with the largest population in 2008 and the area of these states. So what it's saying is, I'm gonna go ahead and, so we're given a bunch of different states and we're given the name, the population, and the area in square miles, all right? So let's go ahead and answer 1A. What is the observational unit? Does anybody wanna answer?
The states.
You are correct, but what you want to say, an observational unit is one thing. It's just going to be a state, not states, all right? So observational units are just one thing. So, but you are correct though. So this will be a state. All right. Who wants to answer 1B?
All right,
Name the very, I'm sorry?
I'll grab a pen from my living room.
Go for it. I'll wait a while and wait for you.
All right. While we're taking a break, I'll let him know too. So, you remember how I told you we have MVP points?
Oh yeah. Do you want to? We could spend those at the end if you want to.
I was told after we had our orientation that those MVP points can be liberal. I can give them out for whatever reason. I feel you guys are doing a great job. You guys get MVP points. So for this first session we did, if you were vocal, I gave you MVP points. So whenever you got a question right, whenever you just made your best guess, I gave you guys MVP points. So Gabby had her camera and her video audio on all the time. She was answering everything. She kind of racked up a lot.
Did you hear
every
me?
time you guys, I did get you. I got, let's see, if you guys want to make a count, I have Gabby has about 6.
Dang.
Matt, I caught you twice. I might have missed another voice from you, but I know you did come in late. Deshaun, I have 2 for you. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Okay. David, I think that should be 3. I think I miscounted. And then Jalen, I also have 3. And Eduardo, I only got 1 for you, but you were,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So how do these little this schedule work? So we gotta show up later too?
So what you want to do is you just want to click on your link for the itinerary. So the Red Falcons, the ones that you have.
I've seen that.
Sorry, go for it.
I'm just saying, like, it says recommended for like later times, so we got to show up to that one too.
So
later
no,
times also.
the main ones that you have to show up are the ones in red, the one that says mandatory. The recommended ones are the ones that you want to go to if you're having trouble with whatever you don't know. Say you don't know the categorical versus numerical, you will want to go into one of those recommended sections and
all
get
right.
help from whoever's the tutor at that moment.
Okay.
I would recommend you try to go as much as possible if you still have questions. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's continue. We'll roll those MVP points at the end. We should have some time. All right. So it says name the variable of the observational units. Does anybody want to say one?
Pennsylvania's population.
Population. That's one of them.
Area.
Area. All right. Anybody else? One more.
The name?
The name. That is still correct. All right. So we have three different types of variables. We have the population, which is in just numbers, how many people live there. We have the area, how big it is, and we have the name of the state. All right. So now it wants us to identify which numbers, which variable are categorical and which number are numerical. If the numerical state, whether it's discrete or continuous. Let's start with the name. What would the name be?
That's categorical.
The name would be categorical. So actually, I'll write it on this spot. So this will be
And then population is numerical.
numerical. All right.
And then area is categorical.
So I'm gonna put a little N for numerical, the name for a C. And then you said the you said area numerical and you said population.
No, I said population is numerical and the area is categorical.
So you are correct on the population, but you are incorrect in the area. The area is still a numerical value. Okay. So to explain this, for categorical, the state is just a state name. There is no meaning behind it besides what it is. It's not saying we could add the state, so it's not numerical. Population, on the other hand, is numerical, like you stated. We could add the populations, we could compare the populations, we could subtract the populations, and compare and contrast to see which ones have the most, which ones have the less. Same goes for the area. You could add them, you could subtract them, you could compare each of them, and you could just compare them to each other's state. Now, for the numerical, are these discrete or are, for population, let's start with population. Are this discrete or continuous?
Continuous.
So do you remember what continuous means?
Like it can keep going, like infinity, basically.
Basically what you're saying. So from 1 to 2, you could have infinitely many numbers in between, right? So you could have like 999, and so forth and so on. Population, on the other hand, can you have a population, if we're counting persons,
Oh.
you get it now? Can you have a
Yeah.
population of 12.9 people?
No.
Or 13.7 people? No, because there's no such thing as a 0.7 of a person. Everyone is counted as one. So population would be discrete. So I'm gonna put N and I'm gonna put a D. Numerical discrete. Now, what about for the area?
Continuous.
That's continuous.
That is continuous. You are correct. You could have 40, in this they rounded it up, but you could have 44.875 miles or square miles. You could keep on going to have 44.8756321 and so forth and so on square miles. So that's why it's continuous. You could keep on going. You could measure it to the smallest of inches or miles or whichever your instrumental measurement is. Okay. So we got that one. Now what we want to do is determine determine and report the ranking of the population density by dividing each population by the number of square miles and get the population density in people per square mile. Use rank 1 for the highest density. So what this means is we want the population density, which is just the, let's see, which is just dividing the population by the number of square miles. So if anybody has a calculator or their online calculator, you go ahead and use it. Who wants to give me for the first one of Pennsylvania? So I'm gonna write right here. This will be population density. And see, so this is population density. And then what we're gonna also have is we're gonna have the rank. So does anybody have the population density for the first one?
277.
277. All right, give it to me in the second decimal.
0.75.
0.70. So we're just gonna round it up to 0.76 because the next number is 0.757. All right.
Yeah.
277.76. All right. Does anybody have the next one? Okay. Does anybody have the next one?
232.
232. Point what?
0.1.
0.11, because there's a 9 at the end. All right, 232. Next one.
339.87.
339.87.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. All right, next one.
I got 412.80.
81. So make sure to round up if the next number is higher than 5 or 5 and higher.
All right.
So 412.81. Okay. So next one.
92.92.
3.92.
92.92
92.92
with 3 at the end, but
with 3 at the end, or
yeah, 3.
give me a second. Okay, I see what you mean. So actually, that's just gonna stay a 2 because the next number right after is below.
A 5.
Yeah, below a 5, so it doesn't change us.
Okay.
And who wants to give me the last one?
235.
135 point
235.7.
0.7. All right, 235. Point 7. All right, so let's see, 36 divided by 0.5. You're semi-correct. We're rounding it to the second decimal place, so it'll be 6.9, or actually 6.8, because
Oh,
there's a 1 right after the 8.
my bad.
It's fine. All right, so let's rank them up by. Let's just rank them. Which one is the highest density? Which one is the biggest? So that will be our rank 1.
New York.
New York.
New York. So I'll put a 1. Second highest,
Florida.
Florida. Third,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Fourth,
California.
California. Fifth,
Illinois.
and sixth is Texas. All right, so that will be for that question. Now for 1E. If given these 6 states as choices and wanted to live in the state with the lowest population, which one would you use? Population density. Which one would you choose?
Texas.
Texas. Does everybody know why?
Has the lowest population density.
There you go, because it's the lowest of all of them. And the other one says, if given these 6 states, which choice and one as choices and wanting to live in the state with the highest population density, which one will you choose?
New York.
New York, of course, because that's the one with the most. All right. So far, so good, everyone. Anybody have any questions on any of these?
No.
All right, then. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this and move on to the next one. All right. Time for question number 2. So this one is short and sweet. It's just if you know your numerical and categorical. So it says, are NBA jersey numbers considered categorical or numerical variables? And if it's numerical, is it continuous or discrete variable? Who wants to take a guess or who knows what it is?
It's categorical.
You are correct. Categorical. NBA jersey numbers are categorical. You can't really do much of them. They have no meaning, no mathematical or numerical meaning behind them. They're just as a placeholder to say who it is, basically. So you are correct. This is categorical. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay. Then. So this one's a bit more trickier. So hopefully.
For question number 2, it's discrete, right? It's not continuous.
So actually, oops.
Or is it?
Give me a second.
Numerical, so it's none.
Thank you, David.
Oh,
Yeah, as he stated, it's non-numerical since it's categorical. You don't have any discrete or continuous. Continuous and discrete is only for numerical data, variables. All right. So if
Yep.
you're categorical, you don't have any continuous or discrete. All right. Question number 3. So it says, consider having 3 dice, each with 6 sides. One die named letters, having the letters A, B, C, D, E, F. 1 letter per side, and the second named numbers, having numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 per side, and the third die named pips, having the symbols or the drawings, 1 paintings per side. Which one of these 3 dice have information that can be interpreted and recorded as numerical data? So
All
this
of
one's
them?
a bit, I'm sorry?
Don't all of them?
So let's take it one at a time, okay? Give me a second. Let's take the first die. So the first die has 6 sides. It's called letters. Okay. We have it from A, B, C, D, E, and F. So this question is asking, is it interpreted and recorded as numerical data? If we're talking about letters, are they numerical for one?
No.
No, right? This will actually be a categorical variable, because you can't, like I stated before, you can't divide the numbers to have meanings, or in this case, letters. There's no such thing as A over B in this case. There's no such thing as D over F, DC times D, and such and forth, all right? So letters, on the other hand, will be categorical. Okay. So now let's take the next one. So give me a second. Sorry. I don't know why I just did that. Give me a second. So the second one is a bit more risky, or Give me a second. All right. Sorry. All right. And yeah. So the next one we have is numbers. Okay. So now we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So who wants to take a guess? Oops.
Yeah, it is numerical.
So this one's a bit tricky because you could interpret it as numerical, but in our case, it's actually going to be categorical. Like stated before, the numbers have no meaning in this case. They're like in other different cases, you will be correct. It will be numerical. But in this case, they really don't have any meaning. It's just 1 through 6. They're not representing anything. They're not really doing much. Yeah, so this is why this one's a bit trickier to explain. So I'm gonna show you what they have it as, and hopefully it could lighten. It'll be an explanation. So what they stated as is the number die, which is the one that we were just looking at, is not a numerical data, since the most that you can say is that 1 and 4 do not have curves. So what I'm thinking they're talking about, I think I misread the the prompt. So here. I think I misread the prompt. Let me see. Consider the 3 dice, each 6 sides, one. See, having which one? Yeah, actually, this one's a bit tricky. Sorry. But they're talking about curves for the first one, so I'm guessing it's just the picture that they're looking at. They're not looking at anything else. They're just looking at the picture. They're not representing the numbers as data. They're just looking at the shape of the number. So that's why it'll be categorical. For the last one, it's the pips. Since we have the squares, these could be oh, how do you draw the last one? Sorry, my drawings are bad. So this would actually be, the last one would be numerical. As stated by the other one, it says, let's see. The pip die is the only one with numerical information. Reason, a person could count the number of dots on a face and count the dots on another face and say there are X more dots on this face than the other. So that's the reason why it's numerical for the pips die, because you could count 1 dot on one of them and then you could count 2 dots on another one. The number die is not numerical data, since the most you could say is that 1 and 4 do not have curves, while 2, 3, 5, and 6 have curves. In other words, we do not associate how we stylize the font or the script with the particular quantity. For example, a 5 in this case is just a script on the side of the die, and neither does the script or side have a feature that is 3 or more than the side of the die. That has the script 2. It is easier to understand that the letter simply contains label, which could have been swapped out for anything else. So I'll go over this a bit more later on, but basically all it's saying is we're looking at the structure of it. A, B, C, and D are just letters. They could be switched for anything else. The numbers 1 through 5, we can't say much about them besides how they look. And even by how they look, we can't compare them numerically. You can't say this one has more curves, and well, you kind of can, but that's really about it. You can't say nothing else. But for the pictures, you can say that this die has 2 more than that one, or this die has 3 more than this die. So that's why this one is numerical. So let's move on to question number 4. All right. When considering the purchase of a home buyer is concerned with the price of the home, the number of room it has, whether or not the home has a pool, the number of schools within 5-mile radius, the distance to the nearest freeway, and the city it is built in, and the year it was, the city it is built in, and the year it was built in. For each variable above, determine whether they are numerical or categorical, and if it's numerical, specify whether it's discrete. All right, so who wants to start with saying which one is which? Let's start with the first one. The price of the home, is that numerical or categorical?
Numerical.
Numerical.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about numerical, is it discrete or is it continuous?
Continuous.
Would it be continuous? So let's take a look at a penny, because we're talking about money here, right? The price.
Oh,
So can a penny be split in half?
No.
Can you have half a penny? No, right?
No.
So we're not continuous like we are with the other ones. We're not going from 0 to infinity in between 0 and 1 penny. There's
But
only one.
in this case, can't the price of the house be raised if it's like something?
Yeah,
It
because
can.
then wouldn't it be dollars and then cents?
Yes, it has a certain amount. You can have, let's say the house cost, it's out of way. This is never gonna happen, but let's say it costs $48, all right? You can have 48.75 cents for the house to cost, but you cannot have 48.756321. These values don't make sense, right? Our
Oh.
our money price only goes up to the second decimal, which is just pennies. You can't have whatever this is of a penny or of a quarter or a dime or a nickel. The lowest we could go is 1 penny. We can't go anything lower than that. We can't even go in between a penny and a nickel. So from 1 to 5, there is nothing in between that says there's a value in there. There's no
Oh.
4.5 in there. Oh, yeah, there's no 4.5. 4 pennies in half. Like I stated, there's no 4.75. So being discrete is you have a limit. Continuous, on the other hand, you could go from as many decimals as you could come up with, as many as you could come up with your mind, as many as you could say. That's what being continuous is. Just continuous forever and ever. So in this case, a price would be discrete. Okay, number of room it has, is that numerical or categorical? It wouldn't be categorical. If you were describing the color of the rooms, it would be. But number of rooms, you could compare them to other houses. You could say this house has 3 houses, this other house has 2 houses. How many more houses does this one have? 1. So this one would actually be numerical.
Okay.
Now, is it, I'm sorry?
Continuous, right?
Would it be continuous?
No, discrete.
Again, discrete. Again, like you stated, we could have 1 bedroom, right? Or
Yeah.
1 room. Can we, sometimes, yeah, you may have half a room, but can you have a quarter of a room? Can you have a third of a room?
No.
Can you have 0.3798, 8, 7, and so forth and so on of a room? Not really, right? There's mainly, we just count. We have 1 bedroom, we have 2 bedrooms, we have 3 rooms, we have 4 rooms. We don't go, oh, this house I'm gonna buy, it comes with 7.9 rooms. That's just that just doesn't make sense. What's the 0.9 of the room? So this is discrete. All right. Everybody getting the hang of discrete and continuous?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Number 3, whether or not the home has a pool.
Categorical.
That is categorical. Everybody know why?
Some may not have a well.
It's a feature, right?
It's a feature, like you stated. It's a feature. You can't you could compare it to other houses. Yeah. Does this one has a house? But you can, like I stated, you can't subtract them. You can't say if this one has a house and this one doesn't has a house, how many, or I mean pools, how many this or how many that. It's just whether or not it has a house. It has a pool. Yes or no. It's a yes or no question. Does this has a pool? Yes. Does this one has a pool? No. Yes or no is categorical. I'm just gonna write C. It's a little bit difficult for me to write like this, so C. All right, number of schools within a 5-mile radius.
Categorical, right?
Not categorical. What are we looking at? Number of schools, right?
Numerical.
Numerical. So I'm gonna just put an N.
Discrete.
Oops, sorry. So yeah, you're still in the correct. This is discrete because if we're talking about number of schools, we can't say there's half a school over there, there's half a school another way, or so forth and so on. So you are still correct. This is discrete. There's only a set amount of schools that you could live by within a 5-mile radius. You can't go half of anything. Now the distance to the nearest freeway. So keyword right here is distance. Is this numerical or categorical?
Numerical.
Numerical. Now, are we talking continuous
Continuous.
or
Continue.
continuous? Everybody knows why?
It's distance. It could be
Distance. If we can go
Distance
in-
could be measured into the smallest amount of whatever we have in our measurement system. So if you're talking about inches, you could go to 3.9 all the way to whatever, however many smaller inches you could get. If you're talking about centimeters, yards, right? You could go 4 point something, something, something. There's always something smaller that comes before it. There's also millimeters, centimeters, and so forth and so on. You could measure it to the smallest and keep on going. So that's why this one is continuous. So now we have the city it is in. What would that be?
Categorical.
Categorical. You are correct. We're talking about city. It's the same thing as saying the name of the city, which is another way of saying categorical. The year it was built in.
categorical.
Numerical.
Oh my.
So this one actually could be, sorry. So the thing about this one is, depending on how the context is used, you could actually use it for 2 different things. So let me see what they have. So yeah, this one is gonna be debatable, depending on, oh no. Well,
Don't forget, there's always a good answer, a better answer, and then there's the best
Mhm.
answer.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, there's always a good answer, there's always a better answer, and there's always the best answer you could get. So in this case, there is no context, or actually, it is some type of context, but this one could be categorical, but it could also be numerical. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, there you go. Okay, so this one could be categorical, or it could be numerical. So this is actually both. It just depends on how the other person uses it. So I'll give you an example of why it could be both right now. So let me switch my screen and I'll show you right here. So give me a, sorry, I'm trying to fix all of this. All right. So right here as it states, it is debatable. Categorical is strictly considering the year it was home, the home was built in, but it could be a continuous numerical data point if the immediate association is the age of the home. For example, the graduating class of 2020 versus the graduated class of 2000. They are just names of a group, but the amount of time one member of a group has been in high school is more or less the amount of time a member, or it's more or less than the amount of time a member of the other group. Okay, so this one is both. Well, can be both, depending on which one you're gonna be arguing for. So like Amanda stated, when you have context, try to find a good answer and try to find your better answer, because you could have a mixture of both. So now for part B, it says create your own 3 additional variable for each type. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little chart. Actually, let's just go for it. We have categorical, we have discrete numerical, and we have continuous numerical. So who wants to give me another variable for categorical?
I got one. A black
Go for it.
phone.
I'm sorry?
A black phone.
Black phone?
Yeah, a black phone.
Oh, color.
Yeah.
Yeah. The color of the house, that's one of them.
Oh, I thought we were making them up.
Oh no, we're talking about the house still, sorry. But yeah, the color of the house would be one of them. Another one?
If it has 2 stories.
2 stories? Yes or no question. Does it has 2 stories?
Garage or not?
Another yes or no. Garage or no? Yes or no question. So those are all considered categorical. Yes or no's are technically categorical. Does it has this? Yes. Does it has it? No. What color of the house is another way for saying categorical. What about discrete numerical?
Mm.
So
The
think of
amount
the
steps
amount of what?
How many
steps on the stairs.
Steps on the stairs would be one. Yep.
That's a good one.
amount of rooms?
Amount. Oh, we already have that one up there.
Oh yeah.
But you could say something
Size
similar
of
to
room?
that.
Size of rooms?
I'm sorry?
The size of the rooms?
The size of the room would be continuous.
Oh,
How many bathrooms?
How many bathrooms? So I'll put size of room in the bottom and bathroom. How many bathrooms? Anything else for discrete?
How many fans? How many lights?
How many lights? How many fences? How many? Something that's just a confirmed number. Something that you could say this only has 1. This only has 2. So how many?
Amount of acres it has, acre the house has.
I'm sorry?
Like the amount of acres the house has.
That will be continuous.
It would if you even if you put like the house has 3 acres.
It could be 3 acres, but you could break down 3 acres into smaller measurements, Usually they just say 3 acres for the best of it. It's just an estimation or a roundup. But you could keep on going and measure it to the exact size.
All right.
All right. So acres will be continuous. One more. Land size. One more for continuous.
Square foot of the house.
Square foot of the house, yeah. Did we have that one? I don't remember. But yeah, square foot of the house will be another one. So just remember the difference between discrete and continuous. Those will I think will be in your exam or your quiz, my bad. All right, so I think there's one more and we should be done for the day. All right, Interpret the following diagram and answer the questions below. Work with apartment, talk about the bar graph, use more than or less than and as much as. All right, who wants to answer the first one? What is the observational unit?
Fernando.
I'm sorry?
Hours.
I'm sorry?
Was it Fernando?
Fernando. We're talking about a person or something that we're observing, and we're observing Fernando.
It wouldn't be weekend activity.
No, because observational unit is just who are we looking at? What are we looking at? We're not looking at what they're doing. We're not looking at any other stuff. Those would be variables. Okay? So we're just looking at one person, and that one person is Fernando. We don't care if what they're doing, what he's doing, that will be for the variable to decide. And talking about variables, what would be the variables?
Weekend activities.
Weekend activities, that's a good answer, but remember there's always best answers.
The hours per week.
Hours per week is a frequency. It wouldn't be depending, but let's go with something better.
Playing sports.
Playing sports is one of them.
Socializing.
Socializing, watching TV, reading, dancing, working out. These are all variables that we're looking at. Like you stated, weekend activities is a variable. But like Amanda said, there are better answers. We don't want to give this good answer when we could have this answer right here and break it down. This is the better answer we're looking for. Okay? So now let's move on. So now that we have our observational unit and we have our variables, let's write sentences comparing the following. So you could just state it. You don't have to write it. All right, so who wants to create a sentence comparing socializing and watching TV? What could you say about it just from viewing the graph? So here's an example if you want to look at it. There's right here. Fernando enjoys socializing more than watching TV. He spends 3 hours more socializing than he does watching TV. So this is a great answer for that one. So we'll skip the first one and move on to the next one. Who wants to do reading and dancing?
I got it.
Go for it.
From the example, do I have to put the one that he does most first, or it doesn't matter?
Just compare them. Like I stated, I will determine there is a good answer and there are better answers. So depending on how you say it and how you put it, it will be a good answer.
Fernando prefers to dance over reading. And on the chart, it shows he has 3 more hours weekly of being active dancing.
That is a pretty good answer, no lie. But you could shorten it down like they do it right here. Instead of having to say everything, you could just say from the very beginning, Fernando enjoys dancing by how many hours?
3.
By 3 more hours than he does reading. Something like that.
Okay.
So you don't really automatically have to go above and beyond. When doing short and sweet is just as good as well. But doing it too, not giving enough information is also bad. So if you were to say, let's say, Fernando enjoys dancing more than reading, that's an okay answer. But we don't know by how much. We don't know which one is, what's the time interval between them. So that would be a better answer by saying he enjoys dancing by 3 hours more than he does reading. All right, so who wants to do the playing sports? These are kind of just going to be redundant a bit. We'll do this one and one more.
I'll do it.
All right, go for it, Gabriela. Thank you.
Fernando spends the same amount of time playing sports and dancing.
Thank you. That is a perfect example. Fernando spends the same amount of time playing sport as he does dancing. Okay, that will tell us enough information that he plays sports, he dances, and he does them equally. Okay, and it's short and sweet instead of just keep on being redundant over the same thing. All right, who wants to do one more, and we'll go to those MVP points. Playing sports and working out.
I got it.
Go for it.
Fernando enjoys playing sports more than working out. Yeah, he spends 2 more hours playing sports.
There you go. You could break it down a bit more, but it's still good and short and sweet. Not too long, not too bad. But yeah, so does everybody understand the things that we did today? Basically, all we did was compare and contrast categorical versus numerical. Know the difference. So I feel like most of you already know the difference between categorical and numerical. Some of you have a little bit of trouble with the numerical aspect, knowing what's continuous and what's discrete, but we're getting there. It's still brand new, but from so far so good from what it looks like. So now, since we already finished this, there's nothing else. The rest are just the answers for the rest. I will want to go ahead and do the MVP points.
Luis, do you want to spin and then I'll just keep tally of everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to see who got what. All right, I'll check right now.
Oh, I can tell you who got what. I'll just keep you just keep the spinner on.
All right then.
I already know.
All right, so this one's for who?
We'll do Gabby first.
Gabby. Let's see how much you get.
Gabby has 13 spins.
13? Wow, you were
You
generous.
said to be liberal, so I'm giving it out.
That's way too liberal, but okay. I'll roll with it. 13 spins for Gabby. 2 points. So you're gonna add them up, right?
Just put all 13 on the thing and we'll add them up at the end
All
of
right,
the 13.
then. Another 2 points. 5 points.
Woo!
1 point. 1 point. 10
Oh.
points. Wow.
Damn.
2 points. 2 points. 5 points. 2 points. 5 points. 1 point and 5 points. All right. So let's add all of these up. They're going to be 2, 4, 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, 24, 24, 29, 30, 35, 40, 42 points from my understanding.
All right,
Amanda, did I got that
Gabby,
right?
Gabby, you concur? You agree? He did all his math right. He's not skipping.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I just do.
She's like, I trust him.
All right, so I have Matt. I heard him 5 times.
Matt,
That sounds-
all right then. Let's spin for Matt.
5
1
spins.
point, 2 point, 1 point,
Oh, damn, bro.
3 points, and the 10 point you got
Oh, you
saved at
got
the
it.
end. So you got 10, 13, 15, 17 points.
All right, I have Jashawn. I got 14 spins for him.
Good job,
He
Deshaun.
was vocal. He was giving all
Let's
these
get it.
answers.
Let's get it.
All right,
Damn it. All right, now I
1
know my
point.
competition.
3 points, 1 point, 3 points, 5 points, 10 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 2
Yes, sir.
points, 1 point. So how much is this? 12, 4, 8, 2 more. 2 points and 5 points. All right, let's count them up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 16, 21, 24, 24, 27, 30, 33, 35, 36, 36, 37, 38, 43 is what I'm getting at.
Cool.
All right, I have David at 13 spins.
All right, reset. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 3 points, 2 points, 2
Make all
points,
10. Are you serious?
1. Oh, this spinner does not like you.
Oh, what?
2
what?
points. How many did you say? 13, right?
He gets 13. One more.
Could
All right,
be
one more.
10.
This spinner did not like you. All right, let's count them up. 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 15, 15, 21,
21. Okay.
23, 28, 30 points.
30 points in total.
Better
Got it.
than that.
All right.
Don't hate
I
the
heard
player, hate the
Jalen
game.
5 times.
5 times. All right. Oh, wait, let me reset that. 2 points, 2 points, 3 points, 10 points,
What?
and 3. So what is that? 10, 15, 17, 20? Yeah, 20.
All right. I heard Eduardo 7 times, so 7 spins.
1, 2, 3, 10 points, 5, 1, 1, and 3. So let's see how much is that? 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, 25.
And I got Josiah having four spins.
4? All right. 2 points, 2 points,
Wow.
5 points, and 5 points.
That's so
14,
weak.
14 for Josiah.
Bro, that's rigged, bro. No, watch out.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Right?
That's so weak.
Anybody else we're missing?
No, but I do have a couple spins from orientation. Angie says you guys have to be present for those spins.
All right, then. So who are those for?
For the people here, it's Gabby gets 1, Matt gets 2, and Eduardo gets 1. So you can just
All right.
spin 4 times. We'll just do it in order like that.
This one's for Gabby. 5 points for Gabby.
All right.
And
2
3
spins
points
for
for
Matt.
Eduardo, right?
Two spins for Matt. So these last
2
2 were for Matt. 3, you
or
said?
3. Yeah.
Okay. And then
the last one?
last one is for Eduardo.
All right. 1 point.
1 point. All right.
All right.
You guys are all caught up on MVP points.
So
Winning.
all right, so before we leave, because it's almost time, well, it's actually actual time, what you want to do is you want to go to your course, and if you haven't taken a look at the module, make sure you take a look at the module. There's the Ed puzzles, and there's a Quizlet. The Quizlet will give you the vocabulary and things you need to know. And there's also a DICE applet video that you will want to watch and probably experiment on. I think it has, what do you call it? I think it has StatCrunch to utilize. So just make sure that you take a look at mod 1, and then when mod 2 comes online, you check that one out. There will be a quiz, I believe, tomorrow, or yeah, I think it's tomorrow. All right. Any last questions?
Nah.
I'm updating your guys' spin in the chat.
Is that quiz due when we're like on Zoom, or is it due like at midnight?
I think it'll be tomorrow meeting. So the 1 hour that you go to, it'll be due at that time.
Okay.
So I'm not so sure how that one goes, but you'll be able to figure it out when you get there tomorrow. All right. So everyone's good to go, unless you have last minute questions that you want to talk to me about. All right. Bye, guys.
All right.
All right. That went well.
That went pretty good. We're pretty much on time too. All those spins though.
Yeah, I think you went overboard.
Well, it got them talking though.
Yeah, I kind of
They
did.
totally engaged more after I said like, oh hey, every time you speak, I'll give you an MVP point. Next time it's gonna have to be like they're gonna have to have really good answers.
Yeah.
Make it a little
So
harder.
we're just
but
upping up the ante, basically.
yeah, we're getting them used to it. But this went well.
So there's actually some things I wanted you to put if you can.
Uh-huh.
For the first part, it was Joshan Forte, right? I don't know if he was taking notes or not. I don't know if you want to put that in there.
Yeah.
He was probably taking notes, but we were not so sure. Didn't have pencil paper out.
Yeah, I mean, he followed along when you were doing your questions. He was right on it. So I'm assuming yes, but he might be taking it on his computer.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see, but he was answering all the questions.
All right. And then overall comments, it was a pretty good.
Yeah.
Classes was engaged, well, in the last part.
They were engaged for orientation too, so I really
yeah.
like this group.
Yeah, so
Uh,
class was engaged, they were cooperating, and they were responding back in time. And we actually have to leave because we have another class to attend to right now.
Oh yeah, huh? Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so just make sure you write the staff on the top.
Yeah.
It will be me,
Gotcha,
you,
gotcha.
and Hultman. And I'll see you on the other one.
Okay.